Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share What's for Dinner videos just like this every Sunday to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. This week's video is a little bit shorter than usual. I don't have as many new meal ideas for you. We actually strayed from the meal plan this week. Just had a lot going on. But there is one really good recipe at the very end. That was my favorite meal of the week. There's a couple other recipes before that, but the best one is at the very end. We had it on Thursday, so I hope you will stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night, I made some easy barbecue pulled pork sandwiches with the big pork loin that I cooked in the crock pot. It's my favorite way to make barbecue pulled pork. I take a big piece of the pork loin and put it in my crock pot with whatever seasoning you want to use. I'm actually using the burger seasoning from Dominos, and it's a little salty, but it worked out because it was a lot of meat. And I just put a bunch of that on either side, and then our favorite barbecue sauce, and then I did a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the bottom, and then I cooked this on low for about 8 hours, and then it shredded up perfectly. I used my little meat chopper to shred it up, and then we just had this on top of some brioche buns with a little more barbecue sauce. And then the kids and Andy like to put cheese on their sandwiches, so they had some cheese on there. And then I just made a can of baked beans on the side. That was it. I was going to cook up some corn with this too, but I ended up saving that for a couple nights later when we had burgers. Saturday night, I did a quick and easy dinner. We just made some Potstickers and fried rice. I've shared my recipe for fried rice many times. I will have a video linked down below so you can go watch that if you want to. And then these are just the frozen pork Potstickers from Trader Joe's. We absolutely love them. They pair really well with the fried rice. So we had that. And then you'll notice on my bowl I have some chopsticks. Lily has been wanting to try chopsticks, so me and her actually ate with chopsticks this night, and that was really fun. I found them at Five Below, so now we have some reusable chopsticks. Sunday night we did burgers, and so I usually like to do my burgers pretty simple, just patty them out and season them all over with salt and pepper. But if you remember in last week's What's for Dinner, I was talking about blue cheese and how I used it in the salad. And then one of you were talking about blue cheese burgers, and I was like, oh yeah, I was already planning on doing burgers tonight, and I still have a little bit of blue cheese left. I'm going to add that to some of the burgers. The kids, again, did not want to try it, so I have 2 pounds of ground beef here, and I'm taking 1 pound of it and making 4 burgers without the blue cheese. And then I added in the blue cheese, or actually Elijah added in the blue cheese for me, and then I pattied out the rest of the meat into 4 more burgers with the blue cheese in them. It's so good. If you like blue cheese and you haven't had a blue cheese burger like this, so good. We also love it with goat cheese and with feta cheese. All 3 of those cheeses are really good in burgers. So I got that patted out, and then on the ones without the blue cheese, I seasoned the outside of the burgers with salt and pepper, but because the blue cheese is a little bit salty, I just added some pepper to the outside of those burgers. And I cooked them separately because the blue cheese is going to kind of like ooze out of the burgers a little bit. So I cooked the ones for the kids first, and I like to cook my burgers in a little bit of bacon grease. It just adds a little bit more flavor, and I've always got some bacon grease in my fridge. So I got that heated up, and then I cooked the burgers, and I do about 5 minutes per side. You don't want to flip them too many times. They'll fall apart, and you just like let them cook for 5 minutes. They get a nice crispy exterior, and then flip them over, let them cook again. 5 minutes. You can check the internal temp if you want to. Then I removed those from the pan and did the exact same thing with my blue cheeseburgers. To go with our burgers, I made some air fryer corn on the cob. I will have a video of that link down below. And then we had some barbecue chips and then we topped it with some cheddar cheese, and then Elijah had lettuce and Lily had tomato, and I had lettuce and tomato, and so did Andy. Monday was another quick and easy dinner. We spent the earlier part of the day at the pool for like 3 hours with some friends. We went to the public pool before they closed them all. They close all the outdoor public pools as soon as school goes back. So school started back in our county on the 2nd or 3rd. And so that's the day that the pool closes. And so we had to go because we lost track of summer and never went. And we had a lot of fun. Lazy river. The kids absolutely loved the whirlpool. Yeah, we had a blast. And so I knew I wanted to come home and make something easy. And spaghetti is always super easy and a family favorite. Today we got pizza for dinner, which was not on the meal plan. Probably should have been, because today was our last day of school. I know most kids are going back, but we basically homeschool year round, and we're taking most, if not all, of August off for our little summer break. And today was our last day, so we did a little bit of school and then cleaned the kids' room. And because we were doing that for a lot of the day, I didn't feel like cooking dinner, so we got pizza. We got pepperoni and extra cheese. No, this pizza was not free, but you can earn... No, it's saying you can earn a free pizza. We got the double ham pan. The other one was a pan pizza too, and so is this one. This one has double ham. And then we got 2 thin crusts, one with bacon and feta, and then Andy's favorite pizza, which is the Philly steak and tomatoes. And then this one has Alfredo sauce on it, and the bacon one has the garlic Parmesan sauce on it. And we will have plenty of pizza for dinner tonight, and some for probably lunch leftovers tomorrow. But that is going to be dinner for, what's today? Tuesday. Wednesday, we went to Sam's Club, and I bought the croissants and the rotisserie chicken and intended them to be lunch the next day, but we were still rearranging the kids' room and doing a bunch of stuff in their room, so I didn't feel like cooking, and I was like, well, we have the rotisserie chicken, let's just have some chicken sandwiches. So the kids had chicken and cheese on theirs. I had some chicken with mayonnaise and pepper, and then we all had some fruit, and then our choice of chips, and I chose the goldfish that we had picked up at Sam's Club. But then there was still enough rotisserie chicken for Andy, of course, to make his dinner, but then also we still had it for lunch the next day. Okay, and now we have made it to Thursday, which was our favorite meal of the week. I made some loaded mashed potato, like casserole, and then also this like garlic Parmesan chicken in the air fryer. So I'm starting off with the loaded mashed potato casserole because this is going to go in the oven. You can use leftover mashed potatoes for this. That's what I have done in the past. I will leave a link down below for the recipe. I was not exactly following the recipe this time. I just like had it in my head and I remembered like basically the base of it and just went from there. If you want exact measurements, it will be down in the description box. So I've got my mashed potatoes, and to those I just added some butter and milk and salt and pepper. And then I added in some more seasonings. I did some onion salt, garlic powder, a little bit more pepper, and then I added in some sour cream, some chopped up green onion, a couple pieces of bacon that I chopped up, and some cheddar cheese, and mix all that together. And then I transferred it to a greased casserole dish and just spread it out. And then I topped it with a little bit more shredded cheddar cheese and a couple more pieces of bacon that I cut up. And then I stick this in the oven on 350 for about 25 minutes. It is delicious. It's so good. Lily was actually the one to request this. She was like, when can you make that again? Like the mashed potatoes, but it has like bacon and cheese and stuff in it. I was like, I can make that this week, definitely. It was so good. So while that was baking, then I worked on my chicken. So I actually saw this recipe on TikTok for garlic Parmesan chicken skewers. And I was like, that looks really good, but I don't feel like doing the work of like cutting up the chicken and putting it on skewers and then cooking in the air fryer. I think I'm just going to do it with chicken thighs. So that is what I decided to do. I've got some chicken thighs here and I've added them to a bowl and I drizzled them with some olive oil, and then I seasoned them up with some paprika, garlic powder, onion, salt, and pepper, or you could just use onion powder and salt, but I prefer to use the onion salt because it is delicious. And then I took my chicken and put it on my air fryer basket. I did spray it with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray, and then this went into my air fryer on 400 degrees, and I did it for 15 minutes. While that was cooking, I started working on my butter mixture. I started off by melting 1 stick of butter, and then once that was melted, I added in about 8 cloves of minced garlic, half a cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, about 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, and then the recipe called for fresh parsley, but I just used about a tablespoon of some dried parsley. And then I just let that simmer for a little bit, just until like the garlic gets really fragrant. It only took like, I don't know, like 3 to 5 minutes. And then I reserved some of that butter sauce to save to brush on the chicken at the very end. But after the 15 minutes, I pulled the chicken out, flipped it over, and then brushed all of that other butter sauce on top of it and stuck it back in the air fryer for another 5 minutes, or until the chicken was done. Mine was done after the 5 minutes. You can see it came out nice and crispy. It was looking so good. And then I just brushed on the rest of that butter sauce and sprinkled on a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And then this was ready to eat. I just kind of sliced it up and served it on the side of our loaded mashed potatoes. And this was so good. I thought about doing another vegetable or something on the side, but honestly, it was a lot trying to put together the mashed potato casserole and make the chicken, so I just left it with this. It was filling and delicious, and definitely our favorite meal of the week. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you do plan on trying any of the recipes that I made this week. I know there isn't a lot to choose from, but let me know down there, and make sure you leave me a smiley face emoji in the comments as well. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend and a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!